just give us an update of how the fixed income market has fared, particularly now that we've seen the first round of elections going fairly well.
Yeah, good afternoon. We have seen yields being stable now in the market compared since the last 2 weeks, though there is still a slight volatility in the short end of the market. If you looked at the treasury bills and the bonds 3 years and below years to maturity, we have seen a slight volatility on this. And this will be due, I think this is due to the liquidity and the tightening of the liquidity in the system, like the overnight deposit rate, which is trading above 11. So this has led to the volatility in the short end of the market. But looking at the Nigerian Euro bond, 2021 maturity, we could see a bullish trend by the investors. This leads to the successful and the peaceful parliamentary polls, and as well as also, if we looked at the Brent crude oil price, which has been trading above 124, this has also helped increasing the reserves. And the SS crude account, as well as increase up to about $6.5 billion. This has attributed to the successful and the peaceful parliamentary poll.
Oladipo, let's talk about what we're likely to see post-elections, because as you mentioned, we have seen the central bank through its monetary policy tightening policy now, hiking interest rates, and with March inflation figures due to come out, there is a sense that we might see more action on the part of the central bank. What do you expect for inflation, and how is that going to impact the fixed income?
Looking at some analysts' view that electionary spending, it's going to definitely give rise to inflation. And however, if this happens, yeah, definitely you're going to see an increase in yield. And you will see that this will have a negative impact on the fixed income market. And then you will see yields increasing across all maturity. But personally, with the CBN proactive steps, looking at the last MPC, which interest rate benchmark was increased from 6.5 to 7.5. This has taken care of the excess liquidity, and you've seen that of recent, CBN has been issuing Omo bills, which has been mopping up liquidity. Personally, I see inflation remaining stable or slightly on the increase.
All right, let's talk about what we're seeing just by way of forex trading. There has been a lot of dollar demand ahead of the elections, and we are seeing the Naira coming in just above 155 Naira, so just a slight bit of depreciation there. To what extent has continued dollar demand put too much pressure on the Naira, and what are your expectations going forward?
About the dollar demand, you could see compared to about 3 weeks in the official window, the demand has been on the reduction level. If you looked at 3 weeks ago, the demand was about 581 compared to 600 million being offered. And yesterday at the official window, $250 million was offered, while 351 was in demand. Looking at comparing the last 3 weeks to now, you find out that there's a reduction in demand. This will bring a less pressure, demand pressure, and I think after the election as well, you won't see that kind of demand, a surge in demand that we've seen for the last 3 weeks.
All right, we've obviously seen AMCON bonds starting to trade a week ago, but there are some doubts as to the readiness of the over-the-counter market to handle some of these bonds. Your views on AMCON bonds and whether or not they can be traded on the secondary market?
AMCON bonds is not presently trading in the OTC market. As we all are aware, it was issued, the AMCON price discovery bond was issued last week at a stop rate of 11.8. 20.7 billion was issued. And I think AMCON is still working on the modalities to see how it's going to trade on the OTC market. However, as soon as all these modalities is put in place to start trading, and I feel that in a couple of weeks, we might likely see trading on the OTC market.